G'day peoples, Down the Bricks here. How you all doing today? Thank you for checking out this video. So in recent times, I've had to accept that I have to change my Lego collecting. Now there could be lots of reasons why you're forced to change your Lego collecting, or why you want to change your Lego collecting. So it could be a change in life circumstances, it could be evolving interest, it could be pricing, and many other reasons. But in my case, those are the three that have affected me. So a change in life circumstance. So I turned 50, and it might sound really stupid, but since turning 50, I'm thinking about retirement a lot more. Now I'm still quite a ways away from retiring, but it's something that, you guys know how fast time's going by at the moment. I mean, it's just insane to think that we're almost at the end of this year already. But before I know it, I'm going to be at retirement age, and you guys know, to collect Lego like I have, or like we have, you come along with this ride. I'm bundling you in with me, okay? You have to work bloody hard to be able to afford to collect Lego like we do. It's an insane hobby. So I'm sure you guys understand that. So yeah, I want to be able to retire at some stage, and to collect like I am, yeah, I'd have to work till I'm past the grave to keep collecting like I was. So I have to adjust for that. Changing interests. My interests have changed a lot over the years, just in recent years through collecting. My interests have changed. A recent example is, buying World War II planes, buying Kobe sets. I mean, that was a big change. But yeah, just when I look back to when I was a kid, and classic space was my jam. That's all I cared about. I liked looking at the castle stuff and everything, but classic space was where I was at. Whereas now, I guess probably because of the licensing of Star Wars through Lego, and classic space just doesn't have that same appeal to me now as it did all those years ago. And now is the castle stuff. When Lego puts something out castle wise, I have to have it. Big change there. So I mean, there's lots of other examples of that. Marvel, very, very rarely now do I see a Marvel set and say I've got to have that. I've just completely lost interest in Marvel. Yeah, it's just, that really blows my mind. Even some of the stuff I've got now, I look at it and go, I don't even really need that in my collection anymore. So a little bit sad, isn't it? I bought the latest Quinjet. I want to get the new Milano set. I wouldn't mind getting the Avengers Tower. That sort of has a more personal attachment to me, just because I built my own Avengers Tower. So I wouldn't mind. I'm probably not going to get it. But yeah, there's a few things here and there, but I really, have turned away from Marvel. So moving forward, I'm going to have to be a lot harsher on that as well. I'm really going to have to cut back. And pricing, that was the third one. I mean, the pricing is just insane now. And it's not just the pricing, it's the amount of releases. And there's been videos, that I have touched on these subjects. But, before Lego put out 100 sets or a couple of hundred sets, and they targeted a band of consumers like this, whereas now they just put out, I don't know, is it 1,000 sets a year? I don't even know what it is anymore. It is a huge number, but by throwing that much out there, they are targeting a much bigger audience. So where they may not have the sales in some themes that they had before, they just put so much out, they just pick up market share like from all sorts of areas that they never did before. So I mean, look, they're going to come out with Fortnite sets. I mean, crikey, that's that's going to make them a huge amount. Fortnite, no matter what what shit you got to say about Fortnite, it's huge. It is huge, and that is going. I think that's one thing that's really going to snowball for them. But we'll see what happens there. And so I need to change what I'm doing with collecting. So I mean, I've spent less this year than I have since probably it would be since I come out of my dark age. So and I still have been spent. I still feel like I have spent a lot on Lego this year. Now I can't even remember what haul videos I put out at the start of the year, but I'm going to do a couple of haul videos to show you what I have purchased, and just to give you an idea of where my interests are now. But I'm just going to sort of go through it all roughly with you now. I'm really trying hard to not fall for the small sets, because Lego put out so many big sets now. I'm trying to just get a representation of themes that I love and put that into some big major sets that Lego are doing. So like let's look at Star Wars. I'm really trying hard not to fall in the trap of just buying all these small Star Wars sets, and just like, instead of buying 10 small Star Wars sets, just buy one big set. So I mean, you guys know how much I love the UCS style set, so that's where I want to lean more towards. And again, just with collection is, I don't need everything. I don't need a whole collection of this or that, you know. I just want to focus on getting things that just pop up to me and go, wow, I love that, I'm going to get that, but I'm going to leave all this other stuff on the shelves. So, yeah, and I'm not going to say I'm not going to buy any small sets at all. I've got some here that I'm going to show you in some videos coming up. Yeah, I have been buying some small sets, but I'm really trying hard not to buy a lot of the small stuff. So, with that comes minifigures. So again, I have to try and resist the urge to get caught into this trap of buying sets just for the minifigures. Now I know that's a massive part of Lego, but when I go back to when I was a kid, I didn't really care about the minifigures. I just loved building stuff. I used to have a big box of Lego. Well, it wasn't that big, but I had a box of Lego, and I would build different spaceships all the time. Like I said, I was classic space, and so I'd be building spaceships all the time, pulling them apart, building different ships, building bases, you know, doing things. And that's what I loved about Lego, was building stuff. So when I came out of my dark age, that's all I was interested in. I was just looking at Lego sets to buy for the build. That's the number one thing for me. But over the years, I got drawn into this trap of collecting minifigures. And I mean, these little plastic guys, they're so fun. How could you not? But I'm trying hard to break that. So I'm going to give you an example here. I can't even remember what Lego set I got it with. It was a UCS set, but the Darth Revan polybag. Okay, let's go some more home truths here. How big of a Star Wars fan am I? I think I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. But what am I a fan of when it comes to Star Wars? I'm a fan of the original trilogy. I like the prequels, but I'm a massive fan of the original trilogy. But I never went down the path of reading books and the expanded universe and all of that. I never went down that path. I just love the original movies. Watch them all the time. Love them. But that's where it came to in my collecting, is I started buying all this other stuff that was to do with Star Wars that I loved to look at and was an interest. But when I look back now, it's not really a part of what I really loved about Star Wars, which was the original trilogy movies. So when I bought a UCS set and I got a Darth Revan poly bag, I didn't even know who the hell Darth Revan was. So call out that I'm not a Star Wars fan. I don't care. Like, you love what you love. What something means to me doesn't mean the same to the next person, and does that make them less of a fan or a bigger fan? Yeah, who cares? Who cares? So, the Darth Revan poly bag. I was talking to a mate, and he happened to tell me what those poly bags are going for nowadays. And I almost fell off my bloody chair. And it's always been good knowing that I've had that in my collection. I've got it in my poly bag box. Well, I had it in my poly bag box. It's good feeling knowing that it's sitting there. But as a character, it doesn't really do anything for me. So I sold that poly bag. I sold it for $500. $500 for a minifigure. Bloody insane. I didn't think anyone would pay anything like that. But seeing what they are selling for, like, I'd be a fool not to sell it for what people are paying for it. I had a few people call me out and say, how dare you put that much on a figure? Like, messaging me through eBay saying how much they wanted it, but it was ridiculous I was asking such a price. I only asked market value, and I sold it for market value. And guess what? I bought a big Lego set with that. From a little tiny minifigure, I bought a Lego set. Something I really wanted. So it just made sense to me to do that. So, look, I'm not taking anything away from anyone. If you collect Lego for the minifigures, fantastic. I know what you're feeling. I fell in love with them too. But I'm trying my hardest not to be bound into something just because of minifigures. They release a set, might be a half-assed set, but it's got these really cool minifigures, so you're going to buy it just for that. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to do that anymore, because I have, but I'm trying my hardest not to fall into that trap. And especially if I've got minifigures. Yes, they do update them, they do make them better, so that makes you want to buy them. But yeah, like I said, I'm trying hard not to. So basically, I just don't want to spend as much on Lego anymore. I want to try and just collect things that I love and keep my collection going, but I don't need everything. I don't need every minifigure. And I'm going to fight tooth and nail to keep collecting. I love Lego. I want to keep collecting, but I just can't collect at the same pace, the same volume that I was previous. And that comes to everything. That's action figures. I just want to cut back on everything. And I really want to focus on putting money aside a bit more and looking towards retirement. Look, I want to be able to retire and really enjoy my hobby. I want to. There's so many mocks and things I want to attempt building, things I want to enjoy. So I look at it as, that I just don't have the time for it at the moment, but maybe down the track I will have some more time, and I can, maybe in retirement I can look at building some cool stuff. I don't know. How do you afford that then? Well, that's what I'm worried about now. I want to sort of get myself in a financial position where I can enjoy retirement, enjoy the things I want to do. And like I said, it's a long way away. I'd love to retire by 60. I don't think I'll be able to do that. I want to be able to tell my wife to stop working, well before I do. So that's something I'd love to do. But yeah, I know I feel like I'm rambling now, but that's a change I'm making. With Star Wars, I've got this huge collection, but I'm just not going to keep collecting. And even with Lego, the types of sets they're producing now, everything changes and evolves as time goes on. And you know, some of these like scene sets they're doing now, they're great. They look great, but I'm just not gonna join that party. I'm just not gonna go down that path. So yeah. So I have to change. How have things changed for you? I feel like this is a really personal video that I'm putting out. Yeah, tell me how things have changed for you. What have you done to increase your enjoyment of Lego without spending as much? Is there a trick to that? I'm sure there is. I'd love to hear from you. It's a very interesting topic. Are you buying more than ever before? Answer that. I'd love to hear from that. Love to hear from you about that. I saw a report on how much profit Lego has made in the last 6 months. You know, they're making record profits, and I know a lot of people have adjusted their Lego collecting and aren't spending as much, but here's Lego making more than ever, which justifies to them the increases in pricing. But again, I think it comes back to where old school collectors like myself and like you, we may have changed our habits, but there's a lot of other people that haven't changed their habits, or like I said, they're throwing that much out there. They're getting a bigger market share across a variety of themes rather than this narrow band that they've used in the past. So very, very interesting. You look at, yeah, I don't have all the answers. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I've got some small sets here. I'm going to do a whole video. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to try and justify why I bought those. But I guess one of the hardest themes for me will be DC, because I like to collect everything DC, and I've told myself I'm no longer going to do that. I'm just going to cherry pick my DC sets as well, down to the the Arkham mural that they've got. I'm pointing up there because I've got the Batman up there. Yeah, I really like that. I'd love to have that in my collection, but I'm not going to buy it. It's $500 Australian, and there's other big sets I want, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just, everything that comes out, I put in my wanted list on Lego, and as time goes on, I take things I haven't bought them, I take them out, and I put other things in, and when I buy a set, I buy the set that is number one on my list at that time. That's what I'm trying to do, and just knock off these sets I really want. And as it's taken me longer to buy those things, so as new things come out, other stuff drops down on the list, and like I said, at times things are dropping off the list completely. The new 1966 Batmobile that's coming out now, that's gone towards the top. Is it the top? I've just bought a big set which was at the top, so it could be. I haven't looked at my wanted list yet, so I haven't adjusted things. But I know it's up there. I know I want it. I know I'm getting that set. And I think it's actually adding to the excitement to it for me too, because I'm sort of building towards these things instead of just buying, oh, I got this coming, I've got this coming. I'm trying to build towards things. And the other thing I'm doing to help me afford this is I'm selling off some of my collection. So I've gone through my backlog of sets, and I've pulled all out and gone, you know what, I don't really care for that set so much anymore, or the only reason I bought this set was to complete, I bought the whole thing. I bought every set that was to do with that movie. But I haven't got round to building it, and I don't really care about completing that theme anymore. So yeah, I've been selling some Lego off. I've got a pretty good little war chest at the moment that I can use to buy some other stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I'm even going to look at start selling off some of my open stuff as well. The hardest thing there, and I talk about this with minifigures, but the hardest thing is letting some of those used sets go and selling them with all the minifigures, because a lot of those sets, they're not really worth a lot without the minifigures. It is the minifigures that's the draw for a lot of those smaller sets. So yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, and it may mean that in certain themes, all I end up with is a minifig collection to represent Marvel. Let's say, and I get rid of some of the other sets, the smaller sets. I don't know. It is difficult. It is very, very difficult for someone that's loved Lego for so long, and been involved in this world, and being involved in the world. That's something that's helped me too. Is step back out of it a little bit. Don't be so involved. Years ago, I stopped worrying about leaks, looking at leaks, what's coming, what's around the corner. I don't care anymore. One of the biggest thrills for me now is to jump on Lego on the first of the month and see what's new, and seeing something for the first time, go, whoa, excellent. I can't stay out of things wholly and solely. I still have you guys, reaching out to me and saying, hey, did you see this? I've got Scotty and Mark that they quite often share stuff with me. Like, as much as I want to stay out of it, I know that the rumor is a sail barge, UCS sail barge coming. I hope that's true, because going back a number of years, I did my top 10 most wanted UCS sets, and the sail barge was number 1. So if that is true, and Lego release a sail barge, I'm going to be all over that. And that's what's good about having a bit of a kitty sitting aside. So when something like that comes out, I can just, thank you, I'm taking that right now. That's number 1 on my list. I'm hoping, if it's the case and we are getting a sail barge, I'm hoping they do a really cool gift with purchase, because it's not going to be hard to tempt me for a day one purchase on that, which is crazy as that sounds when you're trying to save money on spending Lego buying something day one. But sometimes you just don't care and you're going to do it anyway. What else have I got to say? I don't know. I felt like I had so much to say. I probably have covered everything. I've rambled on. This is just a discussion video. I just want to let you know how I feel. There's no edits here. There's no cuts here and showing you this and showing you that. I just wanted to put it all out there, how I'm changing my Lego collecting, because it's going to mean something now when I do my haul videos. Like, I mean, here it is, been 6 months or more since I've done a haul video, and I've got stuff to show you. But what I'm going to show you, and some of it's quite substantial, but what I'm going to show you in this haul video from the last 6 months or so is less than some of my single haul videos that I've just done, that stuff that I've bought for the month. So yeah, that's massive. That is massive. It's still a fair value in dollars, but anytime you're collecting Lego, it doesn't take much to add up, does it? But yeah, that's where we're at. This has probably gone on way too long, but it feels good to talk about. It feels good to get it all out there, and I don't know how successful I'm going to be at it. I'm going to try my hardest. I feel like I've had some success already. I've turned myself off to Star Wars has been the hardest thing. I've turned myself off to a lot of the smaller Star Wars sets. It kind of helps when they're sort of releasing a lot of the sets to do with the Disney shows, which I'm not even watching, so they really don't mean anything to me. So yeah, that makes it a little easier. Yeah, I don't have Disney Plus. I haven't watched them. I think the last, what was the last one? I did watch the Obi-Wan series, and look, some of I haven't minded. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. The only one I probably did love was Andor. Yeah, that one that one really appealed to me. So, and I think they released one Lego set to do with that series, so that was an easy one. But yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So I want to know where you're at. What's happening with your collecting? I know previously I've done videos talking about this, and people have said, yeah, they've just stopped collecting at all and just, you know, not involved in the hobby at all, which is a shame. Which is a shame when it comes down to pricing. Is the issue. Yeah, I feel for those people that have made that decision just simply because they cannot afford it. Yeah, it's yeah, that's really disappointing, and I kind of wish Lego would do more than what they are to help people out. You know, increasing prices all the time, making record profits. Their business, that's what they do. I understand that, but you know, sometimes I wish businesses would just go, "We're doing good enough. We're doing good enough. Let's give back to the people a little bit." But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's not going to happen. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Like I said, please put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk about this with you guys more down in the comments. So let's do that, and I'll cover it more in the haul videos. We'll talk. I'll give my reasons why I'm collecting the things I am and why I'm not collecting other things. So yeah, we'll cover that more in the future videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in one of those videos very soon. Bye for now.